Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for tonight's NBA slate on Monday, March the 27th. We're back, guys, to talk through a couple plays I like for this Monday slate. Didn't make a video on Sunday, but we did have another good day on Saturday. We hit both the plays we gave out in our YouTube video Saturday, so hopefully you guys did tail that video. We've now hit our two-pick entry, the two plays we've given out on YouTube. We've hit that 4 days in a row. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We hit both of our plays on all 4 of those days. So we're on a nice little 8-0 run with our plays that we've been giving out on YouTube. Hopefully you guys have been tailing. As always, we're going to talk through the plays I do like for today. We're actually going to change it up a little bit. I was looking at the board before I started recording. Didn't see a ton of props I loved for today. We're still waiting on some teams to get added. There's some teams on back-to-backs today, so we don't have like some injury reports yet. Prizepicks is kind of holding off on some props right now. We're going to take a look at some first half props I'm liking for today. There are 3 games today that have double-digit spreads, so there could be some blowouts that happen tonight. I think we can take a look at some first half props and maybe find some plays to look at there. So we're going to talk through 2 first half plays I do like for today. But as always, guys, before we get started talking through the plays, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you've never checked out Prizepicks before, you can sign up for Prizepicks. You can use my promo code Noah. If you look at the bottom of the screen, when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. So check them out. If you have not yet, feel free to tail the plays I give out in this video. And if you want to find some plays for yourself, you can do that as well. Now, again, we did hit both of our plays on Saturday. Want to recap those real quick before we talk through our plays for today. So Saturday, we took the over on Nicholas Claxton's fantasy score. Felt like that line was too low, even in a tougher matchup against Miami. Claxton had a really good game. I think he finished with a little bit over 40 fantasy points. And then we took the over on CJ McCollum's fantasy score. Really like that matchup for him against the Clippers. He had a really good game, finished with, I believe, over 40 fantasy points. We only needed 35 from him. So both those plays hit Saturday. Again, guys, we've hit 8 straight plays now. We've hit our 2-pick entry 4 days in a row. Hopefully, after today, we'll make it 5 days in a row. But yeah, let's talk through the 2 plays I like for today. I'm going to talk about some first half props. So first off, I want to go to the fantasy score category. And I want to talk about Alperen Şengün's first half fantasy score. This line sits at 14.5. For those of you that are unaware how first half works, you're playing obviously the first half. What Prizepicks does, they basically just cut the projection in half. So if you look at Şengün's full game fantasy score, it's at 28.5. Also, I feel like the 28.5 line is a little bit too low. But the reason I'm not going to take his full game and I'm going to take first half instead, is just because this game has a ton of blowout risk. If you look at the spreads right now for today, like I said earlier, there are 3 games that have double-digit spreads today. And right now, if we look at the Knicks and Rockets game, last time I looked, this game had like a crazy spread. Yeah, 13.5 point spread right now. The Knicks are favored by 13.5. So there's a very good chance that after the end of the 3rd quarter, it's a 20-point game or something, and Şengün doesn't play the 4th quarter. So I think when we're taking first half, we're not really going to have to worry about blowout. I think regardless of the score, Şengün's going to play his normal 15, 16, 17 minutes that he plays in the first half. And if you look at Şengün on a point-per-minute basis this season, he's been a very productive per-minute producer. He's averaging 1.18 fantasy points per minute over his last 25 games, over his last first half, 25 games in the first half. He's over this fantasy score line in 19 out of his last 25. There's only been 4 games where he's not gone over this, or 6 games, where he's not gone over this first half fantasy score. He had 14.4 in 19 minutes against Toronto. He had 13.9 in 15 minutes. This is all first half against OKC. He had 13 in 17 minutes against Memphis. He had 12 fantasy points in 18 minutes against OKC, 11.8 fantasy points in 16 minutes against Cleveland. I think that was last night. And then the game before that, he had 7.1 fantasy points in 15 minutes against Memphis. He has gone under this line in his last 2 games. But again, Şengün typically plays 15, 16, 17 minutes in the first half. We don't have to worry about blowout here. Şengün's going to play those minutes regardless of what the score is. Maybe the Rockets keep this game close, and maybe Şengün plays his normal 32, 33 minutes. But I have a feeling this game could get ugly. I think there could be a blowout here. I don't know if Şengün's going to play the 4th quarter. And I could definitely see him going over this first half line, but not going over his full game line because, let's say, the game's a blowout. He doesn't play in the 4th quarter, stuff like that. So that's why I like the over 14.5 fantasy score in the first half. For Alperen Şengün. Just even in a tougher matchup against the Knicks, I think this line is kind of already factoring in the tough matchup. It's already factoring in the blowout because you look at his full game. I mean, 28.5. I don't know if we've seen a fantasy score line that low on Şengün in quite some time. And again, I think the reason it is so low, kind of similar to the Nicholas Claxton situation, the Knicks have been a good defensive team against centers. This game does have blowout risk, but when you're taking the first half, you're kind of cutting out the blowout risk, and you're already getting kind of a discounted projection because of the tough matchup. So that's the first play that I do like for today is going to be Alperen Şengün over 14.5 first half fantasy score. And then another first half prop I like is going to be a points prop. And I want to talk about Brandon Ingram. His points prop, it sits at 13.5. It's basically cut in half. His full game points prop is at 26.5. I could see him going over his full game points prop. I think this matchup against Portland is really, really good. But again, this is another game that has a lot of blowout risk. If you look at the spreads right now, New Orleans, they're favored by 11 here against Portland. Portland is playing at home, and Portland is on the second night of a back-to-back. But we have no idea who Portland is going to play tonight. They didn't play Damian Lillard, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic, or Anthony Simons last night. All four of those guys were out. There's reports that Damian Lillard's probably going to get shut down for the season, so Lillard's probably not playing tonight. Nurkic, Grant, Simons, will they play? I highly doubt it. So we could definitely see Portland trot out a bunch of their younger guys, kind of like they've been doing. And this game could be a blowout. The spread's 11 right now. The Pelicans have something to play for, so they have a lot of motivation. They're trying to play their guys big minutes right now, and we're seeing Brandon Ingram play huge minutes. In the first half lately, he's played basically his last 6 games. 19, 19, 19, 19, 19, and 20 minutes in the first half. He's basically been playing 18 to 20 minutes in the first half. He's over this points prop in 5 out of his last 6 games. For some reason on Prizepicks, there was a game on March 17th against Houston, and that game is not in the game log for some reason, but he did score 16 points in that game against Houston before the next game where he put up 9 points. But he is over this first half points prop, and I believe 4 out of his last 5 games, 4 out of his last 5 games, he's over this points prop. Again, for some reason, there's not the game against Houston. Before this one, they played on March 17th. He scored 16 points in the first half in that game. But you can take a look. Ingram's been scoring lately, even in the first half. Last 3 games, 16, 19, 17 points. Minutes have been great. He's been playing almost 20 minutes in the first half. I do worry about this game getting out of hand. And I could definitely see a situation where, Ingram scores 15, 16 points in the first half, but they're winning by 20 or something. And then, he plays in the third quarter and then finishes the third quarter with 24 points. But then, because it's such a widespread, and let's say the Pelicans are winning by 20 plus at the end of the third quarter, there's a chance that Ingram doesn't play in the fourth. So that's kind of why I like taking first half instead. You're kind of just you don't really have to worry about the blowout, even if it is even if the Pelicans are winning by 20 after the end of the first half. Ingram's still going to play his normal minutes, and if they are winning by 20, that's probably a good thing because that means they're putting up a lot of points, and hopefully that means that Brandon Ingram is scoring a lot of those points. Ingram's role, it's been great lately. His usage has been great. Without Zion, he's playing huge minutes. He's taken a ton of shots. Last few games, even in the first half, he's taken 11, 9, 8, 13, 14 shots. That's just in the first half, not even for the full game. So he's been super aggressive, right out of the gate. Minutes are going to be good. Matchups fantastic. Portland's defense has been terrible lately. This season, in terms of defensive rating, Portland does have the 4th worst defensive rating in the league, and I think without Grant, without Simons, without Nurkic, without Dame, their defense is going to be even worse, given they're playing a lot of backups. So really good spot here for Brandon Ingram. This game could be a blowout, so that's why I like taking the over on his first half points at 13.5. So changing it up a little bit today, guys, just because of how the slate is and given all the blowout risk in some of these games, I still wanted to try and find some props that I like, trying to kind of, not have to worry about blowout. And I think taking these first half props, we're going to get normal minutes from these guys regardless of what the score is in the first half. Hopefully they can go over their first half lines. It would probably be, they're going to troll me and, go under their first half, but then go over their full game or something. But I worry about blowout in both those games, but I like the spot for Ingram. I think Şengün's line is just too low despite the tougher matchup. So that's why I'm going to take their first half fantasy score for Şengün, and then first half points for Brandon Ingram. But we'll have to take a look at the board. Hopefully some more props get added. I'll be able to find some more plays for today. I do always share more plays over on Patreon. So if you guys do enjoy these YouTube videos and you want more Prizepicks plays from me, you can check out the Patreon linked down below in the description. But we've been on a nice run lately, guys. We've cashed our 2-pick entry 4 days in a row now. Hopefully after today we can make it 5 days in a row. Hopefully you guys have made some money over this little stretch, over this little heater we've been on. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button down below if you guys did enjoy. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Also, go check out Prizepicks. If you're not signed up for Prizepicks yet, use that promo code NOAH. When you sign up, get your first deposit matched up to $100. But yeah, guys, good luck tonight. Thanks as always for watching the videos, supporting the content. Appreciate you guys a ton. We will see you in the next one. Peace.